the movers of these motions were not the owner of the motion. You see, this is a case of a hyena wanting to eat its own child, but first it must accuse it of smelling or behaving like a goat. Now, somebody like Mutuse was given the motion to go and table it before the parliament. Karen's Nyamu political Karen's Nyamu statement yesterday depicted a political neonate, a political paper bag, a misguided political gink.
It sounds so unreal, but it is indeed a fact that he is the former. In this one, we're going to be talking about the consequences, what really happened, and what next for the deputy president.
I'm Paul Ouma, alias Walker, Paul Walker, a Kenyan youth and a legitimate Kenyan voter. I'm a staunch supporter of President William Ruto. We are the people who started this journey with him until the unfortunate event happened yesterday. I would wish to correct you, it wasn't an impeachment, it was a malicious impeachment, because by now, nearly any sane Kenyan knows who is the puppeteer of the said motion.
Where did the rain start beating the deputy president?
It is alleged that the second in command tried to outshine his master. It is alleged that if he had to be tamed earlier enough, failure to which he was going to sabotage the president's political ambition come 2027, given he wanted to serve 10 years time limit with President William Ruto, then exit the political stage as a duo. So when this notion, or rather this fact, that the president was going to drop him by 2027 came into realization, which it was in the party domain at the UDA party headquarters, that, truth be told, President William Ruto was going to serve only 5 years with Deputy President Rigathi GACHAGUA, after which he was now going to reconsider picking a new deputy president for 2027 political ambition. Now when Rigathi GACHAGUA realized this, now he started aligning himself with possibly a candidate who can make also his political dream, or rather ambition, come true 2027. And now that he realized that he was going to be dropped, he was aligning himself with potential candidates who can help him remain a subject matter in the Kenyan political future. But again, let me ask you, my brother, when President Uhuru Kenyatta came into office 2013, he came with William Ruto as his deputy. Despite William Ruto's complaints and Uhuru's complaints against one another, President William Ruto completed his term with Uhuru Kenyatta as his boss. What was it so difficult? Why was it so difficult for President William Ruto to just be patient with Rigathi GACHAGUA for the remaining 3 years, after which he drops him peacefully and picks another candidate? It was malicious. We know who the puppeteer is, and we know why it happened.
When we look at these two people and we compare what happened between then deputy and president, you would say the matters were a little bit different, because
there was insubordination. Where even Deputy President William Ruto was in record saying, I'm the acting president of Kenya because my boss is busy in the club drinking whiskey. There was a case of disrespect where even the deputy president said, I felt like slapping this man. You see, we've seen worse things that happened during Uhuru's regime. It reached a point where President William Ruto was saying he was the engine, the mastermind of how Uhuru Kenyatta became president. Why didn't Uhuru Kenyatta impeach his then deputy, William Ruto?
Men are different, and right now we are dealing with a different man.
Yeah, you are
so
right.
Because we are dealing with a different man.
Men are different. That is why this is a pure case of a cat being sacrificed for drinking spirit milk, while the wolf ate the calf and is currently eating goats.
When we look at the cases that were impended against the deputy president, you might agree with them or disagree with them. What would you have resonated with?
I would have said, first, the cases, majority were petty. But again, the movers of these motions were not the owner of the motion. You see, this is a case of a hyena wanting to eat its own child, but first it must accuse it of smelling or behaving like a goat. Now, somebody like Mutuse was given the motion to go and table it before the parliament.
Because it was even evident he could not defend it in Senate. There is a member of parliament
who is in record saying
yes,
money circulated within the chambers for the motion to pass. The thing we witnessed at the Senate yesterday, nobody would wish to be sick. As I speak with you right now, the deputy president has not uttered a word in the ward where he's admitted at Karen Hospital. I was there the whole night. I spent my time there the whole night. I left there at around 2 a.m. Now, maybe it is coming to his realization that he has been impeached by the Senate, courtesy of the man he was willing to die for politically. Let me ask you something, my brother. They say they were men of God. Born again, saved, and they will execute their mandate in a godly manner. I can't remember on 9th of September 2022, President William Ruto was in record saying he will never again subject his deputy to the humiliations he was subjected to by his boss. Now, today, what has happened? The deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, met with the Kikuyu Council of Elders. He sat them down. They reasoned about the political future of the Kikuyu nation. And he asked them, should my boss decide to drop me come 2027, where will we be as a community? And it is for that reason that it is alleged. He funded the council to endorse Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, the current opposition leader, as a potential running mate on behalf of the Kikuyu. And it is alleged that in a hotel meeting, alleged, because I was there but I never had it, that it is the gamer community that would now decide who would be Kalonzo's deputy. That one aside, the Gen Z's demonstrations were electric. They were organic indeed. The temperatures were very high. And it is alleged that the deputy president funded the demonstrations. As a God-fearing man and as a Muslim, I want to tell you the truth to the best of my knowledge. Let's say some MPs allied to the deputy president sympathized with the Gen Zs, facilitated their transport, and gave them maybe some petty cash for hospital purposes or lunch purposes or whatever it is. It is true, Rigathi sympathized and understood the Gen Zs plus their grievances. Rigathi funded the Gen Zs with an intention of telling his boss, we are headed the wrong directions.
If you say that these are men of God, how would these pastors or senior pastors, how would they have failed to amicably solve the challenges that these two men of God, quote unquote, were going through? There must be something bigger that the country is not aware of, that the whole president is willing to have his deputy impeached while he lies. He
funded to have his deputy impeached because he cited that his deputy was now a threat to his political career. Let me tell you.
Was he a threat or he wasn't a threat?
He was.
Yesterday, Yesterday, Karen Nyamu in Senate stood up and said, we also honestly... Wait a minute. We honestly do not know what the president saw in the deputy president. Or you get. So meaning that there is a thing that the president appreciated in his deputy. Okay? So if there is something that I see in you, there is no way I am going to persecute you the way the deputy president was persecuted. I ask you once more. Question.
You are issuing that statement with a lot of prejudice.
Question. I want to ask you for the last time. What happened between the president and the deputy president?
Internal wrangles as far as power is concerned, and greed played a catalyzing role. Nobody wants to be in power as an inferior being. Nobody wants to hold power while they are being told, do this, do that. Let me tell you, at some point, if I was the deputy president, I would feel frustrated. It reached a point where a mere member of parliament would want to address the deputy president as if he's addressing his fellow member of parliament. And they come in with demands. Some demands which the consequences are big, huge, and risky, and would even distort the personality of Rigathi Gachagua as the second in command after William Ruto.
Yeah.
And Rigathi Gachagua, his only problem is one: being truthful and courageous. You have asked me about Karen Nyamu.
I did not.
You see,
I did not.
Why am I telling you this? Compare what she said to what Nakuru Senator Kihika said. Kihika said, we sympathize with you. We would wish to rescue you. And we feel that whatever happened should not result into an impeachment. But now, we are in a situation where your employer
does not want you.
Does not want to work with you. And therefore, we have no any other option left but to rescue you from your own employer who is now not comfortable working with you. What does that statement mean? That with them, they don't see any ground to impeach this man. But now that number one, the president of the Republic of Kenya, who is Rigathi, who is William Ruto's and Rigathi Gachagua's boss, doesn't work to work with him. He sent his attack dogs. Chase that rabbit outside my farm. He's now outside the farm. As a nation, we are headed the wrong direction. President Uhuru Kenyatta was successful in eliminating tribal politics. The man we trusted, the man of God, the president we loved so much, has pulled a move that is now forcing the Kikuyus to reason as Kikuyus, the Luos to behave as Luos, and the Luyas to feel as Luyas, as long as he meets his political interest come 2027. Majority Kenyans might be poor, but they are not stupid. This time around, he is dealing with an informed masses. People who are politically aware, people who understand that their challenges and problems are political, and they require political goodwill for these problems to be addressed. Let me tell you something, my brother. We are not Kikuyus, we are not Luos, we are not Luyas, we are not Kalenjins. We are all suffering. That is the truth state of affairs.
As we're winding up, how is the deputy president? Because you say that you are in hospital with him. How is the deputy president? How is the family?
The deputy president is not fine. We lament and we sympathize with his family, especially her first lady, Pastor Dorcas Rigathi. I pray to God to give them strength, wisdom to overcome this. And I'm telling them, this too shall pass. Deputy president was once arrested when William Ruto was his deputy because of his political stand against President Uhuru Kenyatta. He was detained and persecuted for his political opinion, and by God's grace he won. You can cut a tree, but without removing the roots, it can still sprout out. They have thrown him, they have discarded him, he is now under the bus. But I want to tell his family, specifically the deputy president, that he is a seed. Wherever they have thrown him, he will germinate again.
And on that juncture, what are the next moves of the deputy president? If definitely he still lies in hospital, and I do sympathize with him and the family, but what would you look at the most likely next steps for the deputy president?
I know him. He's my personal friend. He is a man who once looked at me and told me, young man, you will become a great leader in this nation. He is a man who was very friendly even before he became a deputy president. And when he became a deputy president, he was now a man of the people, a truthful man. I want to tell him, as a truthful man, from the hospital, now confront the nation with the truth. Of course, even at the corridors of power.
What is the truth? What is the truth?
Unless you want me to spend a night at the ATPU headquarters holding cell, I'll not again outshine my master. I'll only chew what I can swallow. Going to court because he's a man who has decided to die on his feet rather than living on his knee. Rigathi Gachagua is a fighter. Rigathi Gachagua is a lion. And Rigathi Gachagua has literally told President William Ruto, I'm not that guy you think who was a political weakling, a paperback that could just follow the wind wherever it goes. Now, even if he's going to the court, one thing remains clear. Executive arm of the government is holding hostage the judiciary and the parliament. Therefore, the same way the parliament passed his verdict at the corridors of justice,
he's going to suffer the same fate.
His fate has already been seen, because again the judiciary doesn't want to be seen as a sanitizer of people who are politically incompetent. They will cite issues to do with corruption, insubordination, tribalism, and no such matters are sensitive before a nation, because tribalism plunged us into the 2007 PEV, though the root cause was electoral injustice. It is the reason that until today some Kenyans will never vote, because their democratic right sent so many to the grave. So I'm here to remind the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, as much as we are going to the courts, we may not win this battle. Let me be candid. We will not win this battle at the corridors of justice. But there is only one weapon left, telling the people of Kenya the truth, that the person you see there is not a sheep. That is a wolf in sheep clothing. And this wolf has now killed the cat for drinking spilt milk. While his fellow wolves have eaten the cow, the calf, and are now eating the goats.
I don't know what...